Hello, hello. Smells ashy. Yum. So yes, the reason it smells ashy, and the reason that the camera is pointed at a bunch of black trees, is because I'm at a bushfire place where the fire was yes, there was fire here. Yes. So yes, everything is black, and there's a good reason for this. Big fire. That's the reason. It's quite a sight, really. It's terrifying, because I'll tell you, not very long ago, this was a beautiful green forest. You couldn't see very far because it was so thick, but now you can see all the way through it, and it's quite disturbing, really. As you can see, even though the fires were, I don't know how many months ago now, a month ago. That's the one. A single month ago. There's still. This is a burnt leaf, as you can probably see. It's very crispy, and there's even more crispy ones here. That one's proper crisped. Crispy? Yeah, yum yum. Crispy crunchy. Crazy to see a gamer outside. Hell yeah. It's insane. A gamer that's a girl and goes outside? God, I'm beginning to think she's not a gamer at all. But yeah, it's very cool. So this was about a month ago, and we can already see the signs of recovery coming in. Coming in clutch. So the first thing, the most noticeable thing that everybody will probably end up seeing is gum trees. So these are eucalyptus trees. I think they're the most common tree in Australia. They're really common. The trunk is burnt, obviously. Shouldn't have touched that. But when the trunk of a eucalyptus tree gets burnt, they have a bunch of these meristems in their bark, which is pretty unusual. Not a lot of plants have them. They're called epicormic shoots. Hey Pog, look, there's an ant. Oh, hello. Hello, sir. What do you have to say about the recent bushfires? What do you have to say? Nah, he's off. He's on a mission. He's doing something important. So yeah, there's a lot of these buds. It looks quite funny, really. You can see this. Some species seem to bud a lot quicker than others. Some trees seem to bud a lot quicker than others, but you'll see these buds all over these eucalyptus trees. That one's got tons of buds on it. This area of bush is actually not very highly burnt, although it looks a little bit tragic. If we look up, we can see that there's still canopy. So although the leaves are all dead because they got too hot, the leaves weren't actually burnt in the fire. So yeah, you can see it only burnt the bottom of the trunks, not the top, which is because the fire wasn't very intense here. There are other spots where it was more intense. So there's some other exciting things that plants do. Down here, we can see how the tree gets really fat on the bottom, and there's a bunch of stuff growing out of that. There is a certain adaptation to fire, again, where you have a bunch of meristems. Meristems in plants are usually located on the tips of branches, right? And that's where new plant growth comes from. But in a bushfire, especially a high intensity bushfire, all of the meristems on the tips of the branches get destroyed because they're quite small, thin, flammable. So these trees, in case of emergency, have a bunch of meristems located inside their bark where it's safe from fire, or underground in the case of this tree. They have it by the roots, so that there's at least some tissue underneath the ground that is still able to reproduce and make new stems. Cool epicormic growth. Very cool. Very poggers. This is the monthly outside stream. Yeah, I think it's been 2 months, but last month it was directly after a bushfire, so I'm like, we'll wait. We'll wait. Because technically walking around fire grounds can be a bit dangerous. Obviously all the trees are a little bit sickly and damaged, so they're a little bit more likely to fall on top of you. Ooh, should I go down there? There's a cool plant that I want to show you guys. I'm going down. I'm just going to try and avoid walking underneath trees. And do you know why that is? Because look at this giant ass fallen branch. This could have fallen at any point. It could have fallen on my head. So we avoid walking underneath trees. Here is a grass tree. Grass trees are very well adapted to fire. Basically, in case of fire, all of the leaves get burnt off. So you can see this whole area of this plant is all burnt, and it's created a sort of trunk. That's why they're called grass trees. Because when they first grow, they just grow in a big lump. They just look like a big grass bush. But yeah, so basically all of the things get burnt off, and that creates the trunk. And the more it gets burnt, the taller the trunk gets. I don't know what the maximum limit is. I assume it can go to space. A lot of things really actually like bushfires. As long as they can survive the bushfire itself, after the bushfire, there's so much of this natural matter that is gathered on the ground, been burnt, turned to ash. It's very rich in nutrients. So yeah, as you can see, this side is looking worse for wear. Over there though, actually I don't know if you guys can see that yet. Over there isn't burnt. But yeah, as you can see over there, green, pretty, not burnt, poggers. Here's another fun thing. This is a Aloe-casuarina, also known as a she oak. And they have these hard, woody pods, which are, if we look over here, if you look closely, you can see that they're open. You can see each of these little pods is open, and they get triggered to be opened by fire. So they can open on their own, but yeah, you can see that it's opened up. So the seed pods will have released, and we'll probably have more she oaks here in a jiff. It looks so surreal though. Oh yeah, you bet. The first time I saw this, God, and when I first left my house after the fire, you know, I could sort of reconcile with my front gate being burnt and some of the trees out the front of the house being burnt because I'd seen it happen. But when I left my house and my neighbor's house was gone and the forest was black and the trees were all dead, it was just, oh, I don't know how to describe how that felt. Surreal. I felt like I was walking around in a dream. This is my home, and it's been turned into some sort of moonscape. You just say Australia is now Moon Kingdom? It looks like it, doesn't it? I mean, this isn't even the worst bit. Already in Moon Kingdom. Pog? Is this a PB? Can I long jump? I should be rolling. Honestly, roll boosting. Why am I moving so slow? Walking is so suboptimal.
No.
Hey.
You might see a little yellow dog running this way. She's ours.
She's yours? Okay, cool. I can't wait for the dog though. I'm very excited to meet the dog. Look at that. God. Isn't that a sight? So yeah, you can definitely tell that this is a more severely burnt area. There are no leaves on the top of those trees. I'm speechless. Yeah, it's terrifying, right? Isn't it just a horrible sight? That is something else. Is that the dog? No, I haven't seen anything yet. I don't know why their dog is so far behind them. I guess they just trust their dog not to get lost and fall in a pit. I don't know. Give it 20 to 40 years, it'll be good as new. Yeah, just like, well, half a human lifespan and it'll be right as rain. No, these things do come back pretty quick, and often they come back different to how they were before. You could say they come back better. It's a very difficult debate, because areas of bushland which haven't been burnt are a very different ecosystem to areas of bushland which have been burnt and then recovered. Because they have a different amount of nutrients, they have a different sort of ecosystem. And there's a lot of arguments as to, well, there weren't actually that many fires before Europeans came. There were some fires when indigenous people came, and before indigenous people came, there were very few fires at all. So there's a lot of argument as to, well, maybe, you know, we keep things burnt so that they don't burn quite as severely when we do end up lighting fires, but we're changing the ecosystem in a very permanent way. And it's hard to argue, well, I mean, should we be continuously burning areas so that we can be sure that it doesn't burn severely and put human life at risk? Or should we be burning it so that we get these dense, healthy, biodiverse forests? Or should we not be burning it because technically, if we're staying true to the definition of conservation, we should be keeping it as the habitat evolved before the Anthropocene, which is to say the human influences on the planet. Maybe we should not burn it. Let it become grassy woodland again. Still haven't seen a dog, gotta say. I am concerned for the dog. But yeah, the other thing to consider about bushfire recovery is, of course, the animals. So, some animals are fine. Kangaroos can generally outrun fire, so they just hop away, because they're big lads. Birds can generally fly away. The biggest risk to something like birds is if the habitat that they used for breeding was burnt, because they can fly away from a fire and not, you know, be turned to ash, but they can't necessarily find a place to live afterwards. If too much area gets burnt at once, they have nowhere to breed, they have nowhere to eat, they have nowhere to sleep, so they actually die in the next generation rather than this one. So that's what happens to birds. And the bigger mammals can sometimes outrun it, but some of the biggest immediate risk is to small mammals. Some have instinctually run to ground, so obviously Earth is a very good insulator, so if they can get into a burrow or some way underground, a lot of animals will do that, and that's how they'll survive fires. Not all of them can go to ground. For example, a lot of the tree animals, so koalas, possums, those sorts of animals, they will try and hide in hollows, which works to a point. It depends how hot the fire is. But they are the ones most at risk because they can't outrun it. They have to stay in the fire no matter what. So if they can't find a burrow, if they're a ground animal, and if they can't find a hollow, or if the fire is just too darn hot, they will expire. So biggest risk is to animals like bandicoots, antechinus, those sorts of things, pygmy possums, possums in general. Crash could definitely outrun the fire. Crash Bandicoot. You know what's weird about Crash Bandicoot? I don't know if you guys have ever seen a bandicoot, but they're kind of just like weirdly shaped rats. They're not the most exciting Australian animal. Numbats, dude, badass. Quolls, cool as hell. Bandicoots, funny rats. Tell me Sonic looks like a hedgehog. That's true. And Knuckles is an echidna, apparently. Yeah, that is a good point. But Crash doesn't look much like a bandicoot, so if you're expecting some buff-ass humanoid furry coming walking up to me and saying, my habitat has been burnt, find me shelter, you're not in luck, because that's not what bandicoots look like. Knuckles has 4 penises. Echidnas have 4 penises. I'm glad chat knows all about Australian wildlife and the most important parts of their most important parts. Did you know that nobody's ever seen I believe a platypus or a echidna ejaculate? Nobody can figure it out. Nobody can find out how they do it. It must happen somehow, because they do breed in the wild. They just cannot figure it out in practice. More penis facts? Hey, you know, I was talking about the most common hardwood found in... that wasn't meant to be an innuendo. In the world is Eucalyptus glabellus. Well, the most common softwood in the world is Pinus radiata. And that is its scientific name. It's just like a really common pine tree. Maybe we do live in the right time after all. Hey, if my local area being turned to ash is what it took for me to talk about that on stream, well, hey, sometimes we've got to take one for the team, you know? Nothing says bushfire recovery like penis facts. Hey, look, I'm just trying to be educational, alright? And in education, we don't say ha-ha penis, we say P/G penis. Take this seriously, alright? You will be tested on this. Still no dog. I'm pretty sure the dog has gotten lost. If we find the dog, it'll be very poggers, but I think the dog is gone forever. Was there ever a dog in the first place? I don't know. They did say the dog was yellow, which doesn't seem like a real thing. They might have been making up the dog. Bird. That's a currawong. Choo-choo. Choo-choo. I love currawongs. This is a weird tree. What kind of tree is this? Oh, yo, this isn't a tree at all. It's a bush. What kind of bush is this? This is very clearly something that is opened in the bushfire. This is a seed pod. You can see it's open now, so its seed has been released. But again, that classic woody seed looks like a duck. Isn't that cool? You ever walk past one of those big electricity towers and it's just buzzing? It's 5G controlling me. Oh. The 5G is making the chat gay. Oh, if only it would make my splits gay too. You made Moon Kingdom in 20 minutes. I think all your splits were gay. That is true. In fact, that is a world record, although I haven't fought Bowser yet, so that's a lot of time lost in Moon Kingdom. If only I'd gotten to the Bowser fight sooner, this could have been a world record. But now, here I am, I've been ambling for about an hour, and we've managed to lose our sub-hour pace. We'll find Bowser eventually, don't worry. Yellow dog Bowser. Oh shit, you think Bowser was the dog? Hey, look at that lump, dude. That is a freaking bundle of epicormic shoots if I ever saw one. Badass. Hey look, gum. This is what happens when you cut down a gum tree. The xylem keeps flowing for some time. So when you chop off a tree, often its sap will keep coming out, and you get stuck with these big lumps of sap on the top. It looks like blood, but that's just the fun thing about eucalyptus trees, is that their sap looks like blood. Oh god, the rangers are back. Don't stop, don't stop. Huh?
You didn't happen to see that yellow dog?
Yeah, no, I haven't seen it. I was wondering. Sorry, I hope you find him. Oh no. They're not rangers, they're just looking for their dog. Oh no. I wonder what the dog's name is. Should we give it a name? I'm sure it already has one, but we don't know it. So should we give it a name? Bowser? Let's call it Bowser. Hey, look at these little she oaks. Aren't they cute? Very soft from the ash. I kind of want to take a branch of it home. The puppy! Come here, pup. Hey. Hey, bud. Hey, bud. You're off? Oh no, he doesn't. He's a bit scared. Well, at least he's on the road. Nah, he doesn't want to come. I hope the owners find him. Should I come with him? He doesn't like me. He's clearly on a mission. He's looking for his owners. Hopefully they come back down. I don't want to make him feel nervous, but I guess I should keep an eye on him. He's moving pretty quick. He does have 4 times as many legs. I think he's going too fast. I only have 1 leg. Oh shit, I didn't think of that. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to keep up for very long. And he didn't like me. He ran away from me when I tried to say hello. I hope they find him. Yeah, he's on the road. He looks like he's looking for his owners. They'll come back and they'll find him. Also, the camera battery is running low. Okay, we're still at 12% battery, which is weird. I swear to God, my phone is like, you know, I'm at 69% battery for like half of the time I have my phone. And then the other half, it's like 15%. And then as soon as it gets below 10%, I literally have like 5 seconds before my phone shuts off. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, I constantly look at my phone and I'm like, nice. Because I swear, they must have coded it. They must have coded it so it spends more time on 69% than any other percentage. Alright, we're down to 10%, boys. I think once we hit, 9. See, I swear to God, as soon as it gets below 10, it's about to go to 8. It's about to go to 8, I'll tell you how much. Oh, it's at 8, yep. Yep, we're at 8%. 7. Jesus Christ. Look, I'm not making it up. I swear, I'm not making it up. We're at 7%. Okay, we're pretty much finishing now. Thank you so much for hanging out, everybody. I hope you learned something, maybe. Even if you didn't, I hope you had fun hanging out with me. I hope that yellow dog finds its way home. Yeah, I'm always happy to share the environment with you guys. I know often I'm sharing the wonders of the environment, and today it was maybe the horrors of it. You know, a little bit of diversity, but yep, thank you for hanging out, everybody. I hope you all have lovely evenings. So long, Dog Bowser.